So when we used to talk about ransomware recovery time, I mean, we used to put like the median recovery time at about like, what, 23 days or something like that?
We're still seeing that quoted, and that was
Yep.
a stat that I think came from like 3 or 4 years ago.
It is, and we're seeing organizations get a lot faster in that recovery process, and I think a lot of that comes down to the fact that I think a lot of our security programs, just in general, are including things like more robust, immutable backups, like things that we can use to get ourselves back online a lot faster.
Genuinely immutable backups are really important.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely things that are sold as immutable, like hackers can't change them, and then they can.
Well, and in a lot of the attacks we saw, like from the Sophos report, as an example, I mean, in a lot of the attacks we saw about half of the companies back up and running within like a week. So 7 days to get from
Right.
encrypted network and stolen data back up to, general operational status.
That's huge because
Yeah.
last year it was 35%. And this is according to Sophos.
Yep.
I do want to point out that, Sophos looks at a specific sample set, people that have invested, I assume, in Sophos.
Probably, yeah.
Or that are within their community. And so there's no way to get unbiased stats on ransomware these days. So
Yeah.
take all this with a grain of salt. But nonetheless, I think it's really key that this year, half of companies are able to recover in a week compared with only a third last year.
Well, and we talk about skewed statistics in our data breaches class, but
We do.
I mean, it's a
Yeah.
big thing. But even looking at Sophos versus, and I said Sophos earlier, which is a bad habit of mine.
Jaguar.
Jaguar, yeah.
Dino Kibi.
Exactly. No, but I mean, like looking at their statistics versus, Sentinel-1 statistics or Mandiant or someone like that. I mean, we're seeing a general downward trend in how long it takes companies to
Yes.
actually recover. And again, I think a lot of it has to do with the proactive means that we're taking to, stop a large portion of downtime from happening in the first place.
Yeah.
It also comes with us like having and I just had a conversation with a client earlier today about the definition of immutable.
Yes.
Like, what does that mean? And I think a lot more companies who are offering backups, like Acronis or Rubrik or someone like that. I mean, they're really getting into the true definition of immutable. Like
So backups are getting better.
Backups are getting better.
Yes.
We're not relying on Veeam because Veeam gets tanked by like every ransomware group right now. Sorry, Veeam. But no, I mean it means that like we have that availability. We can bring ourselves back up and like. Yes, it will take, a week or so to get back up and running, but it's better than a month.
Okay, but
Yeah.
16% of organizations, according to Sophos, were fully recovered within 1 day.
That's solid.
1
I
day.
love that stat. Yeah.
I am not convinced that those are in cases where encryption is a factor, though. Because the other thing,
Good point.
it looks like these were all analyzed together from what I could tell. One of the big trends was that data encryption dropped to only 50% of attacks. That's the lowest level in 6 years. So what they're saying is that half the time attackers are stealing your data and saying, we're going to leak it to the world unless you pay a ransom demand. And they're not even bothering to encrypt your stuff. Thank you so much, everyone. Again, this is Sherry Davidoff.
And I'm Matt Duran. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out at any time. We would love to hear from you. Thanks again for joining, and we'll see you next time.